Welcome back to Julie's Infinite Playlist. I'm your host, Julie. Before we get started, I wanted to give a few shout-outs to some people who left some ratings and reviews on iTunes. Christina of Forever Starts Today, Tristan of Almost Famous Friends, Angela Guido, Jade from Kick Action Collective, Will from Burn Ban, and there's a couple here, and Steve from Commons. Commons will be on an upcoming episode. Then there's a few here that I don't know who the Apple ID belongs to, so I'm just going to read that out. Rice No More and Gargantuan 560. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. iTunes is the place to leave ratings and reviews. It is important that you do both. Counts more in Apple's eyes. And that can help the podcast get on the iTunes charts and hopefully also get some sponsors, which would be really amazing. That is the easiest way that you can support the podcast is by rating and reviewing. So just hit the click write a review in either the podcast app on your iOS device or in iTunes itself. Once you go through and you find the podcast and then hit write a review. Other ways you can support is subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, and or Spotify. If you'd like to help out in a monetary way, there's a couple ways. You can become a supporter on Patreon. That's patreon.com, patreon.com/Julie's Infinite Playlist. And you can support for anywhere from $1 to $10 for some great rewards. And then you can also make a one-time donation through PayPal. If you just visit juliesinfiniteplaylist.com and click on PayPal, it'll take you right to the PayPal. If you do a rating and a review on iTunes, become a Patreon supporter and or make a donation through PayPal, I will give you a shout out on the podcast. Yeah, I'll give you a shout out on the podcast. Today's episode features an amazing all-female band by the name of Gashgasm. They are incredibly fun ladies and a lot of fun to watch. So, and their music is fantastic. So, I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Julie's Infinite Playlist. Today we have Gashgasm. You guys want to go around and introduce yourselves and what instruments you play?
I'm Lisa, and I play rhythm guitar and lead vocals.
I'm Jillian, and I play the drums, and I do some vocals as well.
And I'm RC, lead guitar.
Awesome. Where did the name come from?
God, how do we even describe that? How the fuck did we get it?
Yes.
Okay. How did we get our name?
We were texting.
Yeah, we had some the first name was Backburner Babies, and that was taken. And then you were what? Warrior
Oh, I
Pose.
said that we should be warrior pose.
Yeah.
Because I was making fun of like the yoga pose that
And then I said Wargasm,
yeah.
which is an L7 song. And then we were like, no, we can't do that. And then I was somewhere and someone said, you know, why do people always say grow balls? Like if you kick a dude in his balls, like he just goes down. And she's like, why don't people say grow a gash? Because gashes could take more of a beating. And I was like, Gashgasm. I was like, and then I texted her immediately. I was like, I think I have a name and it's really funny. And she was just like, sold, done. It's a done. And I went home and bought the domain and everything. I was like, we're totally doing it.
Yeah, that's it.
And then we suckered RC into it.
It took a little convincing.
Yeah. Are we sure we're not going to be able to play state fairs?
Yeah.
This is true.
Trouble selling this name.
Yeah. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, people ask us, what does it mean? It's like.
Well, the interesting thing is that everybody puts their own meaning to it. Yeah. And so some people end up like thinking it's like so bad, and then other people don't even see the name like that at all.
Yeah.
And so it's just funny to see the interpretations, and You know, we've even had people, well, you know, I think your name's, like, holding you back. I'm like, but why? Like, it's not even a real word. Like, if you Google it, we're the only people that are in the only thing that's going to pop up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so funny and interesting.
Well, I mean, in the same terms, I mean, like, look at the Dicks. I mean, they're literally called the Dicks.
Right.
And they're a big band.
Yeah,
it's like,
true.
Look at Pussy Riot.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? It's like, who gives a shit if you don't want to listen to her name because it has the word gash in it? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that people care so much about a goddamn name.
Or it makes them that uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like,
Seriously.
it's crazy, and who gives a shit? Like,
We are in America.
yeah, man. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, when Bruce showed it to me, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to check these guys out.
Yeah.
Great name.
And that's awesome. I mean, I love that too, that people see the name is like, I have to go see whatever that is. And it's like, because you don't know. And then, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can probably figure out it's females, but
Yeah.
it's so dumb that people care about, like,
Yeah.
ooh. It's like, really? Come on, man.
Yeah. People are dumb.
Yeah. They're just judgmental.
Yeah. We sprung from a puritanical, patriarchal society, so no need for that.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
And how did each of you get into music?
Together or separately?
Both.
I was, my father was a musician and my grandmother was a musician, and we were pretty poor growing up, so one thing I could always do is play some of the instruments around the house. I started with piano at about 4. I've been singing forever, and I started playing violin in like 5th grade, drums in 6th, and I sucked at drums. And then I picked up the bass and guitar around like 11 or 12, but that was it. It was just music. Like we didn't have a lot of money, so I remember we had that old crappy stereo that, you remember what I mean? It would be like the tape cassette, the radio, the equalizer with the freaking turntable on the top with the speakers, you know? And I would sit there with my blank tape because we couldn't really afford to buy music, so I'd sit there with the blank tape, just listen to the radio, whatever I could find, and recording stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It was just
I
cheaper.
think that's what every kid did.
Yeah.
Back in the
Yeah.
90s and the 80s.
So that's how I got into music, so.
My grandparents owned a jewelry store, and my dad and uncle both played the drums, and so there were always like drum sets like set up in the basement of the jewelry store, so I would just always go down there. And I was really little, and I just couldn't play worth a shit, but I would like bang around on them. And then when I got into 6th grade, we had to be in band, choir, or orchestra, so I picked band. And I really wanted to play the drums because I wanted to play the crash cymbals. I wanted to do the crash cymbals. That's all I knew. And so they gave me this like rhythm test, and I almost failed it, and they almost didn't let me. Like they gave me like a second chance, and they were like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess you can like play the drums." And then I've just been playing ever since.
Yeah.
I just had everybody in my family, my parents and my 2 older brothers, they were very into music. They had lots of records. My parents were into the early rock and rollers, you know, the 1950s sock hop kind of thing. And then my brothers, they were each side of the spectrum. One was into disco and country, and the other was into, you know, Aerosmith, Kiss, and stuff like that. So I got to listen to everything, and that's how I got into music. And then, I don't know, I just wanted to start playing guitar. I think it's after I saw Joan Jett.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I want to play guitar.
Yeah.
And after that, just kept playing.
Nice. And then how did the band come together?
That's a funny story.
Oh, wow.
So there's a thing that we do. Have you heard of Punk Rock Lottery in Austin?
Yes.
Okay, so every year I perform 4 years, and I judged this past year. So everyone knows that when you get picked for a band, at least there's a few bands that they lose their members instantly.
Yeah.
So our band that we got picked, our drummer, our first practice, he canceled before we even had our first practice. So I hit Trey up, and I'm like, man, I need a drummer. I was like, who do you have on your wait list? He's like, I got this girl, Jillian. And before he could even finish the number, I was like, I'm waiting, dude. What's the number? I've always wanted to play with other female musicians. And sorry to say it, but most female drummers are not that good. So I was, if Trey knew her, I was like, she's got to be good. So he sends me the number. I hit her right away. I was like, hey, Punk Rock Lottery open, blah, blah. And she was like, all right. And she walked in the door, and as soon as she walked in the door, I just started laughing and smiling. I was like, oh my God, this is going to work out so well. And she sits behind the drum set, and like, we just had this connection, and I was like, I think we get each other, because we're not like technical, except she is like when she talks about measures, but like, we try, when we write songs, we're like, no, it's like, na 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 na, and I'm like, oh, I feel you, so it kind of goes like this, and I can read her. And she cracked a joke, like she was taking notes on her drum set, and she was, because, you know, you only have 2 weeks to play these songs. Yeah. And she was like, writing it, she's like, oh, I don't remember this last time, but my notes are like, bum, 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 end on that. And I was like, she's so funny, and she was such an amazing drummer that I was like, after it was over, and we won that year. We were called Charlie and the HIVs, and we won that year. And then, I was like, we got to keep going, and
I was in the audience.
She was there, yeah. She was going crazy because
the bass player that they had was the bass player for a band I was in, the Surleys, and then I heard that they were looking for a guitar player. So
yeah, RC was the first one we tried out. And we were like, "You're good. Like you nail it. Like just pure warm fuzz rock and roll leads. You know, like just so good."
They didn't give me any songs before I went in.
Yeah, she just showed up and rocked out. We were like, yeah, like we didn't have to look for anyone else after RC tried out, and we had we picked up shows playing for Tsunami Bomb. It was our first show, and we didn't have a bass player. We were like, I texted her. I was like, do you want to play with Tsunami Bomb? She's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm going to say yes. And we got to play. And then we were all like, we got to come up with someone. And we went through a few, you know, like tryouts and not tryouts that were supposed to be tryouts but never happened. Mm-hmm. And then we had Jasmine fill in, who's an amazing bass player. Like, she's awesome. But she floats around the world. Mm-hmm. So, and then Angie tried out, and Angie was awesome. So we kept Angie. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, Angie's from the Sliz and the Really Rottens, and she was. We had seen her before, me and Jillian, and just being on the scene and seeing bands and stuff.
Yeah, because my best friend was in the Sliz with her.
Yeah, so she seemed like the right choice.
Yeah, I always remembered her bass.
Yeah, me too.
Because she has that hollow body bass. It's awesome.
I saw that and I was like, oh, it's so pretty.
I know. It's like mesmerizing.
Yeah. I actually took a picture of it and sent it to my dad because he's a bass player. I was like, look at this bass. It's so cool.
Isn't it a Gretsch? It's a Gretsch, isn't it?
I don't know.
I want to say it's like a Washburn or something.
Is it a Washburn? I always thought it was a Gretsch. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, her bass is gorgeous.
Yeah. And do you remember the name of the first band you were in?
Yes. The first band
like, who wants to go first?
that I was in was with my best friend who I was just talking about that was in the Sliz with Angie. His name is Casey, but like his nickname is Yucky. And I've known Yucky since we were 16. And, well, I guess I was in a band before that, but we like practiced all the time, but we never played out.
Yeah.
And that band was called Twinkie Straight Jacket. And the logo, and so we had a logo and everything, but we never once played out, but we practiced all the time. And it was a Twinkie, like, wrapped up in a straight jacket, like, so tight that it was like exploding out the top. But the first band I was in that we actually played out was with Yucky. And I've been in probably, like, I don't know, like 7 different bands with him. And first it was called The Lawn Dogs, after that movie. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen that movie, you should see it. It's pretty good, I guess. And then after that, from then on, we were called Carpe Diem. And we stuck with Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Pretty good band names.
Go ahead. Christian rock band.
Oh my god.
Well, my next door neighbor,
Oh my
who
God.
gave me guitar lessons, I traded babysitting for the lessons, and he was a Jew for Jesus. And
That's
so
a good band name.
he used to go with the minister to the homeless people in Houston, so he had like this little band that he would put together of his students. And so we were the New Life Ministry Band.
Oh my god. It's like,
Why could you not be Jews for Jesus? I mean,
I would buy cookies from you if that was your band name.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that was my first band.
Wow, man.
I was from
I was hoping you were
Conroe.
going to say Creed.
Yeah.
Conroe.
Conroe. Mine was real terrible. We were called Bionic Man.
Nice.
Oh. And the jokes of I played bass and sang in that band, and the jokes always were like, "Why don't you just be called Bionic Woman?" I was like, "Oh my god!" Like it's just a band name, and people would be like, "How can you guys be called Bionic Man if there's a chick in it?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I go back to. Why does it matter? Why does it? If you like the music, who cares?"
Well, I mean, it's bare naked ladies.
Yeah,
There's not a woman in
exactly.
that band.
I decided that they got their name, or they decided on getting that name. So for the marquee on the outside, it's on in the lights, bare naked ladies.
Oh.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Wow. That's probably right.
Yeah.
Dang.
and smart. Stupid.
People walk in and they're like, wait.
But
And it's
there's
just
well, but there's even that local band. I don't even know if they're local, but they're not like that well known. But like the Screaming Females,
yeah, I like them.
and there's only one female in the band, but their name is Screaming Females, like
Yeah.
plural.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like you can't judge a band by its band name.
Yeah. But there are some pretty awesome ones out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Screeching Weasel, they're not weasels. You know.
Gorillas. I mean,
Not
clearly.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
I think
I've
the
never seen
dicks
them,
are.
so.
I think the dicks are pretty nice, but they,
They're dicks.
they have dicks, But
Good God.
And describe your music.
oh, this is really hard for us.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it.
I would say it's melodic punk rock.
Yeah.
Like it's punk rock with melodies.
Yeah.
Very influenced by.
It's influenced by a lot of
Surf rock.
genres. I feel like.
Yeah. I would say surf rock and punk rock and Riot Girl and old school rock and roll and I mean
Yeah, just like garage rock. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all of it mixed in, and because we try to
stoner
make our
rock.
songs sound different.
Yeah.
And so by doing that, we end up touching a lot of genres because if one song sounds too much like another song, we change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it drives us nuts to play things repetitively.
Somebody told us
Yeah.
once that. Did we say that about us, or didn't someone say to you that we sound like Minor Threat meets?
Joan Jett.
Did someone say that Minor Threat
Yeah.
meets Joan Jett? I think we're more like Minor Threat meets Blondie.
Yeah, that would probably
Maybe.
like it.
I don't know. I mean, Blondie is a little more disco dancey, I think, I would say.
Not the rock and roll stuff.
Yeah, her voice is way prettier though. Like I'm a little more gruffier than that. You
Yeah,
know?
you got more like a Theo from the Lunatic.
Maybe
Yeah.
Maybe like the Gits or something.
That's
Gits.
Yeah.
I love the Gits, man. Yeah, it's hard to
Influenced by,
describe.
like, L7 for sure.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a blessing and a curse for us too, is we do try to write. Like when you listen to our songs, it's not. And someone has said this to me too. They're like, it's like your songs are two different sets. It's two different bands playing, and I was like, yeah, I don't know.
But,
I mean,
but really, it's not.
I know.
It's one band playing.
yeah. Which they weren't meaning it as a compliment. They were like, "Y'all you need to be consistent." I was like, "But I don't want to play the same damn song."
But why? Like, what type of person likes only one type of music? I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
be that type of person. So why would I be that type of band?
It's true. That's how we are all influenced by so many genres. I
Yeah.
mean, we even have a disco beat song like that. No one's heard yet, but
Oh,
that
the party beat.
party beat, Scum, which is written about American Horror Story cult. But
Oh, nice.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like too. Even our lyrics, we don't. we write goofy lyrics. Like they're not deep. We're not getting up there and singing "I Walk the Line" or something. I don't know. Or
Yeah, one song is
Jolene.
I think it's Gashgasm. Like 80 to 90% of the lyrics are quotes from the Heathers.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
One's about Futurama.
Oh yeah, one's about the Futurama episode Death by Sneeze.
Yeah.
I guess to sum it up, there's a little of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In music.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I mean, if your sound is not like one sound, then you can play with different bands too. Like you don't have to stick with like one.
Yes, like
Exactly.
on February 16th, we are playing a show
At the Scratch House?
The Scratch House, which is a hip hop club,
Okay.
and we are the only band
Everybody
on the
else is
bill.
hip hop.
Everybody else is a hip hop artist.
There's another punk rock band on
Oh,
there.
there
So
is?
it's like a 2 punk rock band, like 21 Days of Winter or Shades of
Oh,
Winter.
sweet. Okay, cool.
I have to look up the flyer again, and it's like a DJ
Yeah.
and then a hip hop band.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
It's
gonna be awesome.
great. Yeah.
Do you know the hip hop band?
No, I don't.
It's. I mean, it's our
Indelible Ink.
Indelible.
Indelible Ink.
Yeah,
Okay.
indelible ink.
And then
Yeah.
DJ Kid Twist.
yeah. And what's Corbin's?
They have like a record release or something going on. Now.
Yeah.
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 So it's gonna. I love playing shows like that. You
Yeah.
get kind of tired of playing the same show over and over.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
We played in San Marcos, and it was one of the best shows because, you know, everybody was like, new band. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's cool. So, yeah. Good point, RC.
And what are your shows like?
Oh, they're so different. I think we've had pretty good luck with our shows so far.
Except that Mohawk one.
Yeah.
We played inside. That was so bad.
I think anytime we play on like a weekday, it's like
Yeah.
awful. We've like learned, you know?
Weekdays can be hard.
Yeah, I get
So we
that, too.
typically always play on Fridays or Saturdays or like Sunday, like day shows.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a lot of people there, and then other shows we play, there will be like nobody there, and there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah. Could be how many shows are going on in Austin
Yeah.
at that night, too. Like, you're always competing with 4 other shows, 5 other shows. You know, the Stub show is really good. It's weird. It's either people are just really not moving and watching us, or people are like rocking out. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird. I can't describe it. I just am like, are they scared of us? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, I look out there because, you know, I'm always standing up front having people stare at me, and I look out there and I'm just like, why is everyone just staring? Like, move. And we have a song that has crowd participation in it, and I always try to get people to sing along, just being like, just move, like, shake a head or something, like,
Right.
you know, and it's very uncomfortable to look out there and being like, they're just staring.
Yeah, but see, I know that, but then when other bands are playing, I'm still standing back and just like watching. You know? Not all the time. If I'm like really, you know,
That's
liking
true.
it, I jam out. But
What would you say,
yeah.
RC, from your point of view on stage?
Oh, I don't even see anything going on out there.
Really?
yeah, it's hard to see out there.
Yeah.
I could see it, and I'm just like,
As far as us, I think it's a pretty high energy kind of show.
Yeah.
yeah.
The-
What we do.
Yeah. That we give them some pretty loud, crazy music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh
something
man,
people
the
say.
fan.
We're loud.
The fan. So we haven't done this in a while, and we really need to get back into the routine. But there was like one show where RC. Okay, so it was at the Sidewinder. So RC
First
just
show, second show.
happens. Yeah, it was like one of our first shows. It was so early on that RC like happened to just be by this fan. That was blowing right in her face. So anytime she would play, like her hair was just blowing, like and sticking straight up and blowing around. So like she just looked.
industrial.
So she looked so glamorous.
Yeah.
And like every picture of her that night was like amazing. And so it was so good that so many people mentioned like, oh man, RC, the fan. Like, you need to have a fan at every show. Yeah. And so for the next, like, 2 or 3 shows...
They did it on purpose, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next 2 or 3 shows, we did it on purpose. And then all of a sudden, there was one show, and I don't know if we've done it since then, so, like, shame on us, but there was one show where we forgot the fan, and everybody... Like, there was a lot of people that asked about it. Like, where was RC's fan? Where's the fan? So we need to, like, get the fan back.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but, you know, in the winter, man, it gets a little cold.
Yeah.
We'll get a heater that blows heat at you.
Well, it's almost, couple months, it'll be March.
It'll be fan weather.
It'll be fan weather again.
So,
when is your birthday?
The 22nd
Of what?
March.
Oh, perfect. There we go. We need to get her one of those ones that guy accused everybody of stealing.
Oh, that one's not as strong. We get her an industrial one.
Yeah.
I do want to stay on the stage, though, you know.
We'll anchor you down.
Yeah.
It's like you'll be floating around.
Yeah. We'll, like, tie you to my drum set.
It'll be like up, we're all tied together, and we all just lift up out of the sky. The fan. Yeah, I don't even know how we got started. Yeah, this is what we do. We go on tangents.
Yeah.
Well, because she asked about, like, how our shows were.
Yeah.
And so you gotta bring up the fan.
The fan. Number 1 fan.
Yeah. Number 1 fan.
Is the fan.
What's your favorite thing about playing live?
Me, honestly,
Oh, I don't know.
the 30 minutes that I'm up on stage with them is some of the it's like I look forward to it for weeks because it's so funny before we go on because someone's panicking about something. We're laughing. I'm like, one of us will mess up, but only we'll be able to tell and we'll look at each other and just laugh. Because it's fun. Like, none of us, like, if I mess up or if I forget the lyrics, like, I'll look back and see if Jillian caught it or if RC caught it. Because it's funny. Like, we all know, like, we should know the songs in and out. But when you're on stage and, like, you're hot and sweating, like, your fingers are slipping, like, there's so many. But for me, that is the funnest part of playing live, is just the energy between us four. And just the little, like, looks that you catch while you're playing or if you're, like, when I'm fucking up and I'm like totally Jillian seeing it. Like I got stuck behind her drum set one time and remember that?
Yeah, I
remember? I had to go up and sing and my wire, my cord was all around her ride cymbal and I was like, oh my God. Whenever I try to pull something fun off, it just ends up in an injury or falling or something.
Remember that one time you worked out too hard and you almost like fell off the stage?
I had to use someone in the audience to push me back up because I knew I was going to land on my guitar. I did leg day and I couldn't even bend down and I stepped wrong and my legs gave out and I went forward. And luckily it was my friend and I just used her face and I just pushed myself back because I knew my neck of my guitar was going to break. And it was a pretty good show too. So yeah, that's my favorite part about playing live.
Yeah, a lot of people have told me that we look like we have fun
Yeah.
when we're there.
I do.
It's like we all, get along real well and stuff. So I think that comes across when we play.
And we can rib on each other when we're like, RC, did you add another chorus today?
Yep.
Jillian, did you just stop playing for a second?
Dance mix.
Yeah. But we don't stop was when we mess up. It's just, we notice it and I put it in the file cabinet and I go, I can't wait to grill them later about it. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know, what is yours? Playing the drums, dude.
Yeah. I think I like everything being so loud.
Yeah.
And when the audience is into it, I like the energy of the audience. I like looking out in the crowd and like seeing people like smile.
Yeah.
And like really jamming out and like and especially like when people are like wide-eyed because like they don't expect you to be so good. They just think you're like chicks, like you're not going to be very good, and then you play and they're like, oh my God, I like watching that on their face, but I really like playing like loud and being able to like hit my drums as hard as I want, and you can still barely hear me, because it's so loud.
Yeah,
it's great.
Fucking loud up there.
Yeah.
When we're all guilty of being like, I didn't hear any of you guys, and like none of us hears each other, which makes it even more interesting that, like, I never can hear anyone but myself. She can't hear anyone but herself. Like, we all can't hear each other, but yet I know that it's all, from videos and stuff, I'm like, it all works. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how we do it, but I guess as soon as she starts off at the speed, we just go.
Yeah.
We just run.
I just try to play, like, solid, and I figure that you guys are following me, so as long as I don't stop, we're golden.
Yeah.
And I can, like, just sing the songs in my head. I know them so well, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like one time she tried to sit her drums in front of the stage. Like, she gave me this much room to play. We were setting up, and I'm like, I didn't look at her behind me because I just assumed where we.
You were gonna play like that too. She's like she's like this.
I couldn't move.
Symbol like this far from her back.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And I was like, and I asked her, I was like, do you need some more space? Like, do you need me to move up
No,
some? She's like, yeah. We were
And I'm
like,
like,
dude, look at my space. She was like,
Okay, to be fair, it was at the Lost Well, and typically when you're a drummer, you set up the bar will have, or the club will have, like, a drum rug. And so you just set up kind of towards the front of the drum rug because it's typically so far back that's where you set up.
Right.
So I wasn't paying attention to how big the stage was, and I just was like, there's the drum rug. I'm going to put my drums kind of to the top of it. And I had my whole drum set up. And then, like, I fucking realized, like, how close I was
that the
to the front.
Yeah, the drum rug was actually on the front of the stage.
But then I had an epiphany. I don't even know if that's the right word. But
she wants us to play like the Beach Boys in a straight line.
But if you watch old videos of bands from, like, the 70s and the 60s, and you see a music video of them, the drummer isn't equal, and the drummer is set up next to everybody. Like, why do I have to be in the back?
Because there's no
why
room on
can't
stage
I be in
for
the
all of
front?
us to
But think about it. I'm sitting down, and you guys are standing up, so maybe I should be in the front, and you guys should be in the back.
Go for it. Next time, go for it.
No, not really. I actually do like being in the back.
It's like, let everyone watch you. Stand a foot in front of you and watch you. Look you in the face and just stare at you and be like...
Yeah, it's already bad enough.
It's bad.
It's bad enough being on a drum riser.
I know. You hate that.
I think I like shows the best where they're very, like, up close and personal. Mm-hmm. Like, I would prefer, 20 people, like, within, like, a 5 to 10 foot radius of me than I would, like, playing, like, on a huge stage, on a drum riser, like, and I just play better, like, the closer people are to me. Like, if it's, like, in a, like, basement shows, you know, if you go up north party. Or, like, house parties, I just always play better. Yeah. And I think it's more fun because it's more personal. I think maybe because you can feel the energy. Yeah. That's got to be what it is.
Maybe.
I want a house just so I can have house shows.
Yeah, just get it like Shaq for $400,000 right in Austin.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can't imagine playing like a festival or
that's
even like
Stubbs. Most comfortable.
Like, and you just there's all those people out there, and then it's like you don't know what they can hear, and like you can barely hear anything because it's just all hollow. And
that's
I don't
the
know.
best. That's the best to play. You don't have to see them. You just see movement. You're like, I'm good.
Maybe you guys should switch places.
Yeah, exactly. I'll play drums. We'd be terrible.
Yeah, we would be terrible. I mean, I can play like one power chord on the guitar. I could go up and down.
I'd give you
up
a
and
half.
down.
Give you a half of the power chord. She can noodle.
Yeah.
What's your writing process like?
Oh God, hard. Sometimes it's super easy and sometimes it's hard. I think our best songs come from when somebody is sitting down on their own or with somebody like not in the room. Mm-hmm. I don't think we do well like on the spot. I think we have to like think it through and process it, and then we come together. I think that's what we've realized. It's taken us a while to figure that out. But like some of the best songs, it's like RC has like written a riff on her own and then brought a riff and then we build on it, or she's written part of a song on her own and then we build on it. Mm-hmm. Or like Lisa will do the same and then RC will go home and sit on it and come back with this amazing riff. Or some of the best songs we've written, it's because Lisa and I sit on a couch together and we just start writing a song, like using like paper and a pen,
It's
pretty
so
much.
dumb. It's like,
And it's so dumb, but it turns into the most
there's a
ingenious
lot of weed
things.
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone will make a joke, and I'm like, totally. And then I'll write something to go with it, like, hide your kids and hide your wife, like, we were so stoned. But we kept it in the song, and it was like,
I was so excited when I heard that. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, like, Death by Snoo Snoo, it was such a different song, and, you know, it took us a year to tweak that one, because it was like 5 minutes long when we first wrote it, remember?
Yeah, it was a long, because I had 3 different things going on.
Yeah.
But I was going to have it for a different band I was putting together before I joined these guys, and so I brought that in. I was like, yeah, I always come in with songs like I'm not really totally done. I do this with all bands because it's like I think everybody should have a input.
Yeah.
I don't like to come in and say this is how it has to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I just like the band aspect of it. What other people can put on top of it and see what it can become. You know.
Yeah. Definitely.
I like that.
Yeah, and then too, like, when whoever sits down and writes, if 2 of us are writing together, whatever, I mean, RC's right, that we come up with skeletons, like, okay, we have these pieces, but we have no idea how to put them together until each person that is part of the Rubik's Cube that is Gashgasm starts twisting and turning until we're like, wait, I like that, like, that sounds weird, you know what I mean? Like, even Death by Snoo Snoo, till the day we were up to record it, that little weird part I did on my guitar, it didn't exist until we went into the studio. I was like, wait, I hear something. And I was like, let me go in there and add this part. And we were all like, actually, that's really cool, keep it. You know, it's always, our songs are always constantly kind of changing, kind of like the Hellraiser box.
Yeah.
I'm hoping one day we just have this one song that opens up, you know.
Hellraiser just comes out.
We're going to tear people's souls apart.
Oh, man.
That's a song.
That's a new song idea right there.
I like when
Yeah.
Jillian gives us this idea she's got in her head. She doesn't play guitar, so she says, I hear this na 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 na.
Yeah.
I have to sing the guitar to them, and I'm not a good singer either, and so sometimes it's like real difficult, but we figure it out. We figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I'll just be like riding in my car, and I'll think of something, and I have to like figure out a way to communicate it to them, and like I can't play guitar to save my life, so.
But it's cool because she's a drummer coming up with the guitar idea, and that might not be something we normally would think to play because we're not
rhythm.
thinking about
It'll be like, because like anytime I try to write a guitar part, it'll always be like super rhythmic.
Yeah.
Like almost like math rocky or something.
Yeah.
Just
It's like
because,
she almost gives us the way we should be playing our chords, like, you know, the rhythm of our chords. And then we're like, well, okay. And then we go with the melody part.
Yeah.
You know? It works, though. It works. So.
Nice. And who are your influences?
We'll let RC start this one. Because I'm going to tell you, I bet you I know the first one she's going to say.
Well, as far as playing guitar, I've never really sat down and played with somebody. Like some people like bust out their Kiss records and try to do Ace Frehley. Never did that. Yeah. Because my guitar teacher, when we were learning,
in the Jesus.
Yeah, Jews for Jesus. Hey, he was a good guy, and he told me that he wanted me, like, he gave me these different pieces of, I guess patterns and stuff, and he said, I don't want you to listen to me. He says, I'm just going to give you the rhythm, and I want you to put it all together. He says, I just tell you where to land. Yeah. And you just put your own thing together. So I just kept doing that over the years. And so I don't really have any kind of like guitar person that I follow.
Guitar god.
Yeah, guitar girl. But musically, I've always the first band I ever got into was Blondie.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I just love the fact that they they could do any kind of music,
Yeah.
you know, anything. Punk, they did island music, rap, disco.
Yeah.
Calypso.
It was just very creative, and that's what I like. I wanted to be able to do that kind of music, just whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about it for me.
Yeah.
And Joan Jett.
Yeah.
Jillian's icon is Ringo Starr. Don't let her fool you. She loves Ringo Starr.
Oh yeah, you know it. No, the drummers that like I aspire to be are like metal drummers
Yeah.
because metal drumming is the hardest drumming
Yeah.
that there is, and it's amazing. And you have to be in like excellent like physical condition because I mean you're pretty much like running. And like
That's
the
a
drummer from
workout.
like White Zombie or like the drummer from System of a Down is like they're amazing. So I definitely have to mention like metal drumming, but I would say like influence. I don't know if I've influenced as much as like just bands that I like that I grew up with. You know, like Minor Threat and Screeching Weasel. And even lately, I've been listening to a lot of like Teenage Bottle Rocket. So I think my influences are more like what some people call like the pop punk. But I don't like, not when it's like it's too poppy, but like more like old school pop punk, you know? Like Bad Religion and Guttermouth and NoFX and all those old school ones is like what I really got into. Crass is a really big influence for me. I just really like how simple it is and how horrible they are playing their instruments, but it like works out. And you know, at the time they had a really good message.
Yeah.
So definitely like Dead Milkmen.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think Dead Milkmen are coming to Austin soon.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
I know one song by them, but I'm like,
Was it Punk Rock Girl? You look so punk rock girl. That we could travel around the world.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's the only one I know.
yeah.
It's the only one I like. They would annoy the shit out of me. That little voice. Punk Rock Girl. It was solid. It was so annoying. They were not an influence of mine.
Do you like the Queers?
They're okay. That's
Oh,
not
man.
my.
See, I like that stuff.
I
I like
saw
that
them
stuff.
play. They were really good.
I grew up more with like the East Coast, like DC type music. Like, one of my biggest influence of all time is HR from the Bad Brains. Like his energy on stage. I mean, you can't touch that dude. You know, and his vocals and a lot of my vocal styles, even though a lot of people are like, oh, you sound like Theo from the Lunatics. It's like, actually, I'm trying to imitate HR, you know, with some of those like, wah, like sounds like he did. Like, it was just an incredible musician, you know. I'd say HR, God, man, I have so many of them. Susie from L7, you know, Courtney Love. Just because everyone talks so much shit about her, but you know what? She kept going.
Yeah,
People are accusing you of killing your husband. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna write another album. Fuck you. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, she just keeps going. Man, I don't even know. I have so many musical influences. I love Lady Gaga, just what she stands for and her energy. And I will quote this: all these punk rockers who talk shit about her. I was like, Henry Rollins went on record saying she is by far punk rock because she is.
Yeah.
She does what she wants. She keeps that PMA, you know, and she's a fucking talented musician.
Yeah, she is.
I don't know.
That documentary that just came out is
About
really
her?
good.
Yeah, so good.
She's such a badass, man.
She is.
Haters gonna hate. But yeah, no, mostly, and guitar-wise, I mean, I don't even know who my influences are. Any East Coast punk rock, hardcore bands. Sick of it all. You know, Minor Threat, Fugazi.
Fugazi.
That's
The
math
Red
rock.
Medicine album. Oh
That
my
bass
God.
line, ba-dun-dun-dun-dun, the waiting room.
Yeah.
Did you guys go to the Remember the Punks in San Antonio?
Not this year. I went,
No.
I went the year before.
Yeah, I did too.
was Sick of It All and Tsunami Bomb. Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was
Really
a good
good.
year, actually.
Last year I didn't really know any of the bands, so I was just like,
Yeah, and it wasn't, I didn't like the line. What was the band? Was it the Addicts that played?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't really remember because I was just like,
Yeah, I ended up getting real drunk at the Remember the Punks, and I got so drunk that I ended up professing my love for Sick of All for being the first hard. I was like, you guys changed my life. I'm pretty sure they were like, get this crazy person away from me. That's fun. I was hammered. I probably smelled like throw because I definitely threw up in the middle of that fest. Woo!
It's a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I had fun. But yeah, I miss Michael Graves. I didn't get to see him. I love Michael Graves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I have a bunch of influence. We could be here all night, but we're not going to do that.
And who do you listen to that you think would surprise people?
Guilty pleasures.
No. There's no such thing as a
I agree. I just had this conversation with someone, but when you ask that, people have to be like, what? It's like,
yeah.
Who you kind of like think people would be
yeah.
judgy of you? Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
I wouldn't.
Amy Winehouse.
No, I wouldn't be surprised because you have a good taste and she's talented.
That's not a guilty pleasure.
That's not. She's amazing.
All right. Well, that's one I listen to.
Like, do you listen to like Michael McDonald or something like that?
No, but I listen to Michael Jackson.
That's not guilty.
Everybody listens to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I listen to some hip hop sometimes.
I listen to a lot of hip hop.
But I don't think that's like a guilty pleasure. It's actually
well, and I also don't think it's as surprising because it's probably I think it's now the most popular musical genre.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Good for hip hop. I mean, I like the old. I mean, I listen to like Wu Tang.
Oh shit. Whew.
I don't know what that
I'm
is.
judging you a little bit for that one.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, we'll play some.
Is it a girl?
Yeah.
Pop singer?
No, like hip hop.
She's technically hip hop.
So she's like a little Kim wannabe?
No.
No. She's this white Australian girl. Australian, right? Something. She's not American.
Huh.
And there's some contention that she's not actually a rapper, that like somebody's writing all her lyrics for her.
Oh, and she's just a performer.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, I believe it too. Well, damn. Okay, that can be my guilty pleasure.
I also just never really liked any of her music, so.
There's this one badass song that I like. The one that I showed you.
Oh yeah.
The Roots one.
I don't like it.
But I don't know. I don't even remember her name.
I'm trying to think. Dude, I mean, I listen to anything from Wu-Tang to DMX. My guilty, or people would be surprised. I love the shit out of Eminem.
Oh yeah, but me too though.
But people would be surprised. Like, you listen to Eminem. I'll tell you this. I love reggae.
Yeah.
I'd say Bob Marley would be another big influence on me. And same with Freddie Mercury. Like, he's probably up there too. But I was at reggae night and people were like, you like reggae? I'm like, I love reggae. Oh yeah, man. The Mau Mau Chaplains.
I've been there a couple times because I have some
with
friends
Bruce.
who love it. Yeah. Bruce wasn't there the times that I've been, but I do have other friends that love it, so.
Oh, Bruce got me in on it, and it's amazing because you go there and the band is. That's one thing I hate about certain genres of music. They want you to stay in that genre. Like we should be going to see other type of music that's different cultures, and if you like it, like I love reggae.
Yeah.
And you walk in, and the venue's like so badass, and like you can openly smoke weed outside, and literally it's like everywhere you go, people people come up to you and they just give you weed, and it's like you're watching this 13-piece band. I mean, I took a friend last night and I was like, oh, let's go watch him. He's like, that's the house music. I'm like, no, that's the band. That's how tight this band is. And reggae is so hard to play because all it takes is someone to just throw off the beat and the whole song is thrown off. It's so precise, you know?
Is it like weekly or monthly?
It's
weekly.
Every Wednesday, yeah.
Oh,
you should come one time. It starts at 10 though. But they're so good, and the guy sells Jamaican food outside.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh my god.
And I like Flamingo a lot, even though it's super open, so whatever the temperature is outside, that's what it is inside.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love it.
I think that place is amazing. I love it. I'll take you one time.
And I know the stage is probably really weird to set up on, but I like the way
it's very long.
Yeah.
But it has to. I mean, with that many people on stage, it's like tears. And their saxophone player looks like Anthony Bourdain. It's great. I guess, I would say like Eminem probably my like.
I think Eminem is really good though.
Yeah.
I love Eminem, but I don't think people would expect me to listen to Eminem. But yeah, probably Eminem. I can't think of anything else.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Bee Gees.
I've never, but it's hard for me because I'm like, I'm not ashamed of anything I listen to.
Yeah, me either.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah,
I like what I
like me
like.
too.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't
I
care.
grew up loving NSYNC, and Justin Timberlake will always have a special place in my
Oh my
heart.
god, dude! I have an NSYNC album. I can like This I Promise You. What was the one they did? Oh my god, I can't remember. Dude, I loved Lance Bass. I thought he was hot in the 90s.
I thought it was hilarious that I always thought JC was going to come out as gay because his pants were so goddamn tight.
I knew his brother. We went to the same high school together.
Oh yeah?
JC went to my high school. He graduated the year before I started.
Okay.
They were from where we grew up, but his brother was such a douche. So was good Charlotte.
I bet.
Oh, from DC.
I bet.
They were mall punks. They used to hang around the mall with their like Hot Topic clothes and hair. Those guys suck.
I love Good Charlotte, but I can totally see them being douchebags.
I mean, they're not that bad. They're just, they're douchey. That's all I gotta say about that. I don't listen to them because I know that I'm like,
Yeah.
Posers.
And if you could write with anyone alive or dead, who would you want to write with?
Freddie Mercury, hands down.
I have to think about that one.
Deborah Harry.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's too hard of a question.
Wesley Willis for you.
Okay. I gotta think about that one.
Yeah.
That one's deep. I gotta think about all the people that I could possibly, like, write with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think about that one.
Well, yeah, because you gotta...
Come back to me on that one.
Alright, we'll come back to her. It's gonna be someone, like, real crazy. Like, she's gonna be like, Weird Al Yankovic. Oh, that'd be awesome. I love Weird Al Yankovic.
That would be awesome.
That's another one.
Guilty pleasure.
I'm leaning towards someone who's already died. Like, I'm like going way back, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Did you guys ever cover songs?
We did Minor Threat. We did I Don't Want to Hear It, and she sang and played drums, and it was awesome.
Yeah, we should try to do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need... We can never settle on a cover.
Yeah.
That's mostly my fault. I'm not putting the blame on them. It's my fault. Because I love so much music, and I'm like, oh, you guys, what if we covered this song? And they're like, dude, pick one.
Yeah.
I'll pick one, and then
that would be my issue, too.
I can't pick.
There would just be too many songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard.
I would just be a cover band.
A lot of it's like based on your mood at the time.
Yeah.
And what you're listening to at the time.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, Suicidal Tendencies?
Yes.
Institutionalized?
We were going to do institutionalized, but singing, talking like that, and playing the drums like that at the same time would be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
We'll pull it off one day, but I'm going to need to work on that. Because it's such a slow beat, and it's hard for me to play slow anyway.
Like, I want to talk
hey
like
guys,
Yeah.
and it, it's just...
It's a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still want to do gore. I know.
Oh, I'd do that in a
Wendy
heartbeat.
O, Butcher Baby from Plasmatics.
Butcher Baby.
Oh, that can be, who do you want to write with? I want to write with Guar and play, like, one show with him. And, like, be able to, like, dress up in a
With
big-ass
odorous?
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and dress up in a big-ass suit and play the drums back there, and I'd get, like, my own character, and none of you guys would know that it was me, because I couldn't tell you, or they'd kick me out of the band.
That's true. That's why that idiot chick got kicked out.
Yeah.
That's it's like Fight Club. First rule of gore, don't tell anyone you're in gore. Have a costume.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know what Dave Brocky looked like till he died. And they're from D.C. or Virginia.
Yeah.
You know, I saw them so many times. I could have been standing next to him 8 million times. I had no idea.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, man. That's a good one. Gore. Dave Brocky.
Oh, man. So, like, quick story is that
10 minutes.
one of my friends used to work at that cigar shop downtown. What's it called? Starts with a B?
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah,
But,
so-
I've passed it 1,000 times. So.
Yeah. It's like over there by Casino.
Yeah.
And she worked there, and some guy came in and was like, yeah, we're playing at,
Emos.
it wasn't emos, it was like when they played like somewhere else, somewhere downtown or whatever. I think it was like, no, they played at like the back room, when the back room was on Riverside.
Yeah.
And and it happened to be like my birthday, and so she's like, so he's like flirting with her, and he's like, okay, I'll put you on the list or whatever for you and like a +1 or whatever.
Yeah.
So then she comes over to my other friend's house, like we're just like hanging out for my birthday, and we're eating like a pot birthday cake that like we had made. And my friend was a hairdresser, and she was, I think she was like cutting her hair or doing something, whatever. And she was like, yeah, so this thing happened, and this guy came in and gave me tickets to, like, you know, the back room. I don't know who's playing tonight. And it ended up being fucking Guar. And so what happened is one of the guys from Guar came in and didn't say he was in Guar, and just said his band was playing. And so, like, she, because it was my birthday, she, like, just drove us down there, goes up to the box office, gets the ticket, gives us the ticket, and we just, like, go inside, and, like, that was the first time I saw Guar.
Wow.
Like,
That's amazing.
in person.
I got fed to their meat grinder on stage.
Did you?
I got up on stage, and it was the year before Brocky died, and the meat grinder that went under the drum riser. So when they put you in, you get carried by the orc, and he carried me over his shoulder. And when they put me in, I had to act like I was getting chopped up, and then I had to crawl underneath the drum riser to get out behind the stage.
That's amazing.
Because I worked the Housecore Horror Fest. I have friends
wow.
that like Phil and Kate and them, and she's like, "Do you want to go into the meat grinder?" And I was like, "Of course I want to go get fucking warmed up."
Yeah.
That was that same year. That was when I was we were hanging out and having fun. I look over and Bill Moseley from you know every horror movie ever, Chop Top and stuff. He's like rocking out to Gore, covered in fake blood and stuff. It's like Bill Moseley rocking out to Gore.
That's amazing.
I saw a guy drink the Gore juice off the floor.
Ew.
It was a second day of a festival, and after Gore got off,
Well, it's
this
just
drunk
like,
guy.
it's just like corn syrup.
Yeah, but on the venue floor, 2 days after a festival has been going on, people spit and
Everything.
Dude, that's like
Yeah, that's a
hepatitis
little
times
weird.
10.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Why would you drink anything off of the floor of a venue?
Yeah.
That's so gross.
What was the question?
What's your favorite Austin video to play?
Oh,
Oh, man.
favorite Austin venue?
Can it be alive or dead?
Yes.
The parlor. The old parlor on North Loop.
There are like so many of them, like the Lost Well and Kick Butt Coffee.
Yeah.
Those are two places I really like. And a good sound, and they're really good to the bands. And those are the two I can think of at the top of my head.
I think I like to play the Sidewinder.
Yeah. I'm there a lot.
I love the Sidewinder, man. I mean, I love Red 7. Red 7 would be the first one. I love Red 7. Man, Red 7 was a great venue. It's such a
I
shame.
liked playing Beerland when Beerland was real popular.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can't get people to go to shows there anymore.
It's weird how venues have trends too. Like everybody wants to go one place and that dies off, and then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, I'd say like Lost Wells, Sidewinder, Carousel Lounge.
Yeah.
Carousel, yeah. It's okay.
It's just so fun and so old Austin.
Yeah.
I love it.
Come
Yeah,
on,
those are my
That's
top
another
3.
place that's hard to get people to come to. I'm like, I don't understand. It's in the hood, like it's not downtown. It's typically like free to get in.
Yeah.
And there's places to actually like
And
sit
bring your
down
own
if you want to
booze.
sit down, and it's bring your own booze.
So you don't have to pay ridiculous prices for
Yes.
drinks. Yeah.
Yeah, and
You can smoke weed in the
people
parking lot.
and people don't go. That's I would say the shows that there have been the least amount of people have always been there, and I don't understand why. It blows my mind.
The only thing with that is there's not a lot of parking. Like you have to. The parking is kind of a struggle.
That's true.
But other than that,
Yeah.
Uber, Lyft.
you're right. Yeah, I'm not too far from it, so
Right.
probably do that next time. And where can we find your music?
In that room right there.
Yeah, so we have a EP out that has 6 songs.
It's CD right now.
Yeah, that's a CD right now.
We gotta get it up on iTunes and
And
Spotify.
yes, we need to upload it to a bunch of places so people can then download it. But there's a lot of our music on our Facebook page right now.
Yeah, Instagram. I put a lot of the videos and stuff up there.
Yeah, we have a few things on YouTube.
Yeah.
Dave TV.
Dave TV. Love Dave.
He filmed the whole set.
That's awesome. Actually, this week's episode was with him.
Oh, I love Dave.
Yeah.
We have a music video that this lady named Laura Gunn did.
Yeah.
And that's Stay Out of My Way. And that's
Solar
on
Magic.
our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Solar Magic did the photography. That was fun.
Oh, that was a fun experience.
Yeah.
It was a hot
good time.
experience.
Yeah, and pretty soon we'll get a website that's not Facebook.
Yeah.
That's on my to-do list. That's on me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm supposed to do next.
I mean, up until like probably the next couple weeks, Facebook was fine, but now they're gonna make it hard for everybody.
What?
They're changing their algorithms again to try to make you be able to see more of like your friends' stuff. So if you're not paying for to like advertise, people aren't gonna see your stuff as much anymore.
So money. Oh, it's a way for Facebook to make money.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like it's already like that with me. Like no one sees anything that I post. Like
I do.
I literally have to put. Yeah, but that's because like we're in a band together and we have. I mean,
how does Facebook know like we're in a band together?
Because we're both admins on the Gashgasm.
Oh God, shut up! No, I just pay attention to you.
Facebook knows everything.
Actually, you don't post much, so.
Well, but the thing too is that I'll only see maybe like 10 people.
Yeah.
And I know that no one's seeing my stuff
Yeah.
because it's like the people who like me. It's always like the same like 5 to 10 people.
Yep.
Everyone's blocked you.
Yeah.
They're like this
No one
jerk.
gives a shit. No one gives a shit. But like I only see like 10 people.
Yeah, no.
That's terrible.
It is. We need new social media.
Me and my grandma got almost 200 hits.
Nice.
Your grandma.
Yeah, me and my grandma. That's like of all the pictures I have, the one with grandma was the one that got
People
the most.
love grandmas, man.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Grandmas and
do
puppies.
feel like when I like post it, like I change my profile picture, all of a sudden like 200 people pay attention to me, and I'm like, I'm just trying to change my picture.
For whatever reason, that's the one thing that everybody sees.
They're like, oh wow, it's you.
All I did
forgot
was
about
add
you.
like a frame to my profile picture. It says Careless Whisper, play softly in the background, like at the bottom of it, and literally everybody was like, Julie, I love your picture, and I was like, I've had this picture for months.
I know.
All I did was add these words to it.
I know. It's
Oh,
great.
so funny.
And they're like, your hair looks so great, and I'm like, that's
It's
been my
this
hair.
way. Yeah.
It's
It
like
doesn't even look
actually-
that purple anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually not even that color. It's old.
Yeah.
Dick.
Yeah, like I think that somebody, and there's a million smart people in the world who could write code based on the code that already exists.
Yeah.
And their whole like advertisement like thing could be no algorithms.
Yeah.
Like you see everything and you choose, or like something like where you could like choose your own algorithm.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to see everything? Do you want to do this? And you can like have a setting.
Yeah.
Like almost like on Facebook, if it could just, you could do that most recent, but you could just like set it like that to be like that all the time.
Yeah. Well, and they just need to like, how they have everything in sections now at the top where like you see your live videos here and the marketplace is here. Just have ads be in another tab. Just do that because we all know nobody's really looking at the ads on there.
Yeah.
There's been like 4 or 5 that I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I like this. Like, I might check this out.
I'm tired of seeing all the ads with like the actors or the actresses and like somebody photoshops their shirt on like their body.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not even really wearing that shirt. Just because you Photoshop that on this famous person, I'm not gonna buy that shirt now.
Yeah.
Like Obama and like I've seen Obama and Michelle like hold like every single shirt in the same exact photo.
Yeah. I follow this one page called extremely specific ads or extremely targeted ads for extremely specific ads, because you know how you always, like for a while there's those shirts that were like, I was born in 85 and I love punk, and you're just like, what? Who makes a shirt that's but it's all really ridiculous.
And
things.
people buy it.
I know.
People are like
quality.
sheep though. If you tell them what to do, they'll do it. I hate saying that, but like all those like how many people have How many people in this world have a shirt that says "Stay calm" and ...
We should make a shirt that says "Stay calm" and Gashgasm. Just so
I'd wear that.
So
I would wear the
people
shit out of that.
come to our shows and buy our shit.
Yeah, I'm down with making a shirt
If
like
people are
that.
sheeps, man, we need to herd them our direction.
Right?
I try. I think they get scared when they see 4 women up there. They're like, ooh.
They're like, they're
Oh,
not gonna be very good.
Oh, no. Let's see.
I get excited. Yes.
I know, I would too. I always have been until I got into every female
Well, but
band
that's
ever.
the thing, though, is like when women come and see us, women love us. I would say 90%
Gashgasm.
of the time,
Women love us.
women, yeah,
That's a shirt.
Yep.
like
I'd wear that too.
Yeah, I would too.
people who have come up to me, and this could just be like, this is their personality too, but like people who come up to me and are like, almost like I changed their life, is always like women and like teenagers.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
I'm cool with that too. For so long going to shows, I mean, you'd be, one chick per 20 guys at shows?
Yeah.
Punk shows and stuff. So I don't care if it wants to be one guy per 20 women at our shows. I mean, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
It's not just boys fun. So
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Gashgasm. What was it? Women love us?
Yeah.
It's a household name.
It's a household name.
Do you guys have any upcoming shows?
Woo,
have a
we sure
lot.
do.
Woohoo.
So
RC, can you remember him? RC's got the memory of like...
February 10th, we're going playing Corpus Christi at Boozers. And February 16th, we're playing the
Scratch House?
Scratch House.
in Austin, it's on the east side.
And then that show at Kick Butt, what day?
The
February?
22nd. That's a
22nd.
Thursday. At Kick Butt. It's a birthday party,
Yeah.
so that'll be
Then-
fun.
March.
Then we're playing March 10th in San Antonio, and then March 11th,
Limelight
here in
San
Austin.
Antonio.
and that one's an afternoon show at Givens Park.
And then March 18th in Bryan, Texas, the JT's Altercation South by Southwest Hangover Fest.
And
That's
that
in
one's a
Bryan,
day
Texas.
show too,
Yeah.
on a Sunday.
So far, that's what we got.
So we have three shows in Austin, and then like 3 shows
And other places.
in other places.
Which we're excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we realized we need to play outside of Austin because it's too saturated here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sometimes, we've been playing in Austin. Really, almost the only 2 out of show towns out of town shows. I'm dyslexic. That should be my stage name, Dyslexic Dixie. Was San Marcos and Houston, right? That's the only times we've ever played out of Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we were supposed to play
Oh.
Corpus.
Dyslexia.
I should totally change my name to Dixlexia.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Lisa Dixlexia.
This
Like
is how ideas happen.
Yeah, this is what we do. Like, we'll sit around and we're just kind of zone out. It's like, what about this? We were supposed to play Corpus, and then Harvey killed us.
The
the same
weekend,
weekend.
that
We planned
Saturday,
a
the
trip.
weekend of the hurricane, like, I was in Colorado earlier that week, and I was flying back into town on Wednesday, and we were supposed to leave town on Thursday. And I'm at the airport in Colorado, like, and they're like, there's a hurricane, and I just thought they were being crazy. And I was like, had been in like Colorado for like a week,
Yeah.
and I started looking at the news, and they were like, I don't know if we should go. And then like we kind of didn't know what to do, and we kind of just watched the news all night, and we kind of called it, but we were gonna see what happened on Thursday.
Like, we were still going to drive down there and just
Right.
wait it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then like Thursday, like we were supposed to leave at like 11 or noon, and it was like right at 1 o'clock they evacuated, and
Yeah.
we were like, guess we're not going.
Oh no.
And so,
We were bummed, man, because we had floaties planned. I bought a Hawaiian shirt.
I had like a whole thing of booze.
I bought a
Yep.
Hawaiian hat.
Yep.
Yeah, but so then.
So you're ready for this Corpus show then?
So this Corpus
It's not
show.
the same.
Yeah, so it's like the exact same show, just rescheduled. But I'm like, why are you gonna reschedule it for February?
Yeah.
We want to go lay in the beach. We'll just go. We'll plan another one.
I'm
or
still
something.
gonna go to the beach, but it's not gonna be as
Yeah.
It's not gonna be as summer.
I'm not gonna be like riding around on a fucking unicorn floaty.
You could. We could blow it up in the hotel room and push you around on the rug.
We can blow it up and go to the
Indoor pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a hotel with
Yeah.
indoor pool.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun. We
On
could do
purpose.
that.
On purpose.
Yeah.
We'll bring our own sand and lay it around the indoor
Yeah.
pool.
I'll wear a life jacket.
Yeah, totally. I'll bring my Hawaiian shirt. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
You guys want to play a song?
Stefan.
I think we can do
Anyway.
No Way Out or something.
You just wish you were me. I'm sick of all your jealousy.
Why don't you get a clue?
Why don't you leave me be? Stay out of my way. Stay out of my way.
What are you gonna do?
Avoid your negativity.
When I touch your face black and blue.
Avoid your toxicity.
Talk, it's nothing new.
Are you even listening? Stay out of my way. Stay out of my way. Wow! See, it's so hard to play it. It's so not easy. I'm like, RC, you got the shred now.
Okay, take that chord.
What is the last line?
Get a sense of humor. Yak like a tumor. Stay out of my way. Stay out of my way. Stay out of my way. Stay out of my way.
Baby, can't you hear me? You're overbooking daydreams in between your mouthstreams, intoxicated bloodstreams.
Don't be a snotty
Showing up in my place in your dirty red lace, you bumbling disgrace, looking for a saving grace.
Don't be a snotty
Hide your kids and hide your wives, 'cause you throw what you now. Hide your kids and hide your wives.
snotty snatch rides again. Slit in throats with a grin. Snotty snatch rides again. Slit in throats with a grin.
Baby, don't you get it? God, you're so pathetic. And you're the one who said it, so why can't you forget it?
Don't be a snotty snatch.
Jesus will not save you, and everybody hates you. You're ugly, broken, drunk too. Look at you, you're a privileged fool.
Don't be a snotty
Hide
snatch.
your kids and hide your watch. Cut your throat with a butcher knife. Hide your kids and hide your wife.
Snotty snatch rides again. Slit in throats with a grin. Snotty snatch rides again. Slit in throats with a grin.
Hide your kids and hide your watch. Cut your throat with a butcher knife. Hide your kids and hide your wife. Traction.
I was so slow.
We did it.
So good.
Thank you for listening to Julie's Infinite Playlist. This podcast was created, edited, and produced by Julie Roth, with help from Nick Colbert, and special thanks to Nikki Nadeau. The theme song was created and produced by Animal Abstract. All of the songs performed belong to the musicians performing them. If you like the podcast, please rate and review on Apple Podcasts, and subscribe on Google Play, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Stitcher, and share it with your family and friends. Find us on Facebook and Instagram to keep updated on the podcast and when the bands featured are performing in Austin. Also, check us out on Snapchat to catch videos from shows I go to, and maybe even some sneak peeks. 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 Sneak peeks.